Hello everyone, I'm Wendell Jones and welcome again to our program on the Youth Empowerment Program. This is a special edition of our platform, and last week on our program we talked to members of the Youth Empowerment Program, the Student of the Year, the Director of the Year, among others, and it is our delight once again to talk to our guests on the Youth Empowerment Program. On the program today, from my right, we have Mr. Mark Palmer, who is a board member, and then we have Lorraine Reckley, Senior District Manager of the Youth Empowerment Program, and Mr. Terrence Colebrook. Taurus Colebrook. I'm not getting your name right, eh?
No, sir.
And you are one of the students of the Youth Empowerment Program.
Yes, sir, for 2 years.
Good, very good. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
It's good to have you here today.
Yes.
Now, we heard a whole lot, Mr. Palmer, about this Youth Empowerment Program. And we want to measure the effectiveness of the Youth Empowerment Program today. And I hope you can help me. You and Lorraine Reckley, you might be able to help me to talk about how effective the program is in our community.
We shall certainly try.
Try our best.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you how I was actually, how I got involved with the Youth Empowerment Program, because I'd heard about it, but there hadn't really been much publicity, and I heard about this program that I had at that time, I think about 800 students and about 80 volunteers, and I'm thinking, why haven't I heard of this? So we reached out, and I work for a foundation, Agape Foundation, which Agape, which is, was it Unconditional Love,
Yes.
founded by a Bahamian, Janet Kemp, who has a big heart, and she's a humanitarian, and she wants to see this country develop. So we reached out, and one of the first things we did for YEP was do their website. Because surprisingly, they didn't have a website. And so when we were doing the content for the website, it was just amazing how much information. They had 30 programs. They had all these activities, and to document them and put them on the website. And that got me interested, and I've been involved in youth programs before. And if you remember Frederick Douglass, who's a great African-American statesman,
Yes.
and anyone who
doesn't
know who,
as well.
Absolutely, and anyone who doesn't know who this guy is, you have to Google him, because he is really inspirational.
Yes.
And he said, one of the things he said was, it's easier to build a child than to repair an adult.
Yes,
and you see, that is kind of the essence of YEP, because in the old days they used to those kind of programs where the boot camp programs, which they don't really lift you. And so our whole philosophy is about touching you in different ways. And you need to have a pretty big toolbox, actually. You can't just use the stick, you've got to have the carrot. And so somebody like a Taurus may be athletic, somebody else may be creative, somebody else may be academic. So you have to get something that is going to challenge them to bring themselves out of themselves. And so I discovered that as I was putting this website together. It was, wow, this is amazing. And then I was luckily asked to become a member of the board about a year ago. So I've been kind of behind the scenes working on the theory of change and how we can make the program better. But it's awesome. I mean, I have to hand it to, when I was 15, I don't know, how old are you, like 16,
17.
right? 15. When I was 15, I couldn't, I went with a Taurus to Abaco.
Yeah.
He was talking to all these kids it was just incredible to see. And so, we have a lot of people who are very negative about our youth, putting the youth down, and we've got to stop that, because we have to find a way of reaching everyone and helping build them up. And he's just a great example, because he isn't shy about coming forward, and that's part of the program, And when we were, sorry, I'm going on a bit, but
That's good.
I'm very passionate about it. One of the things we found is when we were interviewing students for these awards, it was really clear to us the ones that were doing well were the ones that had done the speech competition and the debating, and they were head and shoulders above anyone else that we were interviewing. So we're we're sitting there going, we have to make this mandatory to get this award, because it was so valuable. And it showed when, Taurus is going in front of his peers and just making them laugh and just being relaxed. It was just amazing. So it's awesome program.
I believe the Youth Empowerment Program has gotten support from a number of organizations in our country. And I do this program today, and I have to mention NIGAD International that has been supporting the youth of the Bahamas and the Youth Empowerment Program. And Peter NIGAD is celebrating his 50th anniversary in the fashion business, and has kindly consented to sponsor this program and many other youth programs in the country. And so I just want to say that right now on our show, because you know he watches our program as well wherever he is in Canada or the United States, and I just want him to know that the young people of the country appreciates what he is doing for the empowerment of youth. But Lorraine Reckley, you are also a district manager.
Senior district.
Senior, oh, I'm sorry, didn't put the senior on it. A senior district manager for YEP.
Yes, sir.
What is your role and how do you go about it?
Well, my role is not an easy one, but it's simple. I'm what you call the HNIC of a district. I'm the head person in charge of that district, but I have a team of mentors that work with myself, and we are there to almost, I can say, well, not almost, we are there to empower these young people to be all that they can be.
And where is your district?
My district meets at S.C. McPherson Junior High School every Wednesday from 6 to 8.
Okay.
We are one of the biggest districts because the kids are just attracted to my beautiful face, along with the kids that I attract in the program.
Okay.
Like Ataris. Okay, Ataris has been with me for 2 years. I've seen Ataris grow over the past 2 years. And like Mark said, he is just an awesome, awesome student. He is one of those type of students that you don't have a problem to give a task to, and he just runs with it. He's never afraid of anything or any challenges. He never says, I can't. He will take it on, and he will go with it. Like the Ataris and the Kawal, our student of the year, who was my vice president, I have become proud mother of them because that's how I feel about them. So we're there 30 weeks. 2 hours plus, because we say 2 hours, but we run into 3-4 hours. Again, volunteering is one of the things that I'm here really to speak about. We can use real dedicated people who have a passion for young people. And again, I tip my hat to people like Mr. Nygaard, who has sponsored this program. We can use more sponsorship, Mr. Jones. These young people need it. Most of them come from inner city homes that can't even afford for them to even get to the meetings. And so even if the Youth Empowerment Program had a busing system that we can get our kids back and forth, we can attract more persons. But we attract the people that everybody have write off, and we pull them in and we make them better citizens. And when we do that, I don't have to worry when I get home at 11, 12 o'clock in the night, that young man trying to push a gun in my face, because he has become a changed person being in the program. And so that's what we're here to do. We're here to empower them. We're not here to put them down. Like Mark said, everybody may not be educationally inclined that comes in the program to us, but they're gifted. And so we have to help them develop their gifts. And that's what I am here to basically do. Along with my mentoring team, no one is allowed to speak down to any kid in the program. That's not what we are about. Maybe another program, but not the Youth Empowerment Program. We are here to make sure that they are there. If they come shy, they don't leave the same way. They can be the ones that are in the speech competition, on the debate team. They won't be on the track team. They just won't be on everything. And when they say, Ms. Reckley, I'd be like, oh, wow, okay. That's one beat and shape.
And so for 30 weeks, you find activities for these people?
Well, we have a curriculum
that
we are guided by. So we have a curriculum that is set out, and our mentors go through a curriculum, as well as this year what we had as a character word for 30 weeks. So along with the curriculum, which can be anything from leadership skills, it can be from resume writing, it can be from peer pressure, it can be from dating, it can be from HIV, It can be from sex education. We teach them everything we think they would need to go there in that real world. We also had added a character word every week, and we would expound on that for at least about 5 minutes along with the curriculum. So the kids got a double feature every week instead of just one. And the character words were so, I think, enlightening. We need 60 for the next year.
Interesting. Taris, you are going to speak about some of these things that you've been learning at S.E. McPherson.
Yes, sir.
But you're a student of Prince William High, I understand.
Yes, correct.
Yes, how long have you been at Prince William?
For a year and a half now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And why did you join YEP?
Oh, the reason why I joined YIB is because it honestly is a amazing after-school program, because I really found myself idle in the afternoons, and how it was YIB came to my school and it really drew me into the program, saying that I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, and they showed us what we can gain from the program, like scholarships, opportunities, and opened so many doors for us, and that's really what drew me into the program. And this year, I've been in almost all, actually I can say all the activities, like the camp and hike, the basketball tournament, the fun run walk, what I also placed first in, the volleyball tournament also, and other activities, but those were the activities that really stood out to me. Oh yeah, one more, the annual church service, and my experience with the church service, the pastor called me up and he witnessed to me and so forth like that, saying that I would receive those awards that right there.
Okay.
It's some of the awards I received, the Call to Be On award, outstanding student, and I placed third for most athletic. So how I felt that it was really amazing to me, and it was a great experience. I was like really uplifted to go beyond my potential and to really push forward in what I do.
So you're a well-rounded student, you would say?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that the Youth Empowerment Program helped you to be a well-rounded student?
Yes, sir, I can really say that, because how it is, like Mr. Ackley said, the mentors, they really push forward to make us better children that we are now, and to really work with the youth and really to uplift us, and their work really goes a long way, and it does motivate students like me and so others.
Ms. Reckley just spoke about peer pressure.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of that among young boys in particular.
Yes, sir.
Girls and boys, but particularly among young men, I believe, in the country. What did you glean from that? From the whole course, or your participation in about peer pressure?
Truly just to be true to yourself, and
to be true to yourself.
Yes, sir, and to look at other adults as role models, and to be more like them. And how it is, they came to us and showed us that it's other ways than to do negative. I mean, there's positive things to do rather than the negative, like so far, like selling drugs and fighting and cursing and so forth like that. It's other ways you can prevent those things like that. And it really motivated me and most of my other peers, and it really went a long way and changed us.
Yeah. What do you think about young men generally in the country? You know, from time to time we hear elderly folk talking about the generation, and we are losing a generation. You don't agree with that, do you?
No, sir. How I look at it, others really focusing on the negative and those that are doing wrong, but they ain't really focusing on those who are doing good in the country. Like on BN, they mostly be posting the negative on the youth, and other than the positive on the youth, like how it is. Honestly, I didn't really see. Like the previous week, we had an award ceremony, and a lot of pictures was taken, posted on social media, but BN didn't really take note of those, and they didn't post it on their site. And how it is, I really think that they mostly focusing on the negative, and that's what they're putting out to the youth, and that's what the youth taking in. So they can, they can like rebel against it and show that this ain't what we doing, and so forth like that. So if BN could like, and other social media sites too, I'm not just speaking generally and BN, but that's who I take to mostly, because that's who I mostly see posting about the negative. So I'd really say that they should more focus on the positive in the youth and really push it out to show that we doing more than they think, and we really changing our peers and the generation.
So the country as a whole has really not been focusing, Mr. Palmer, on the positive, eh?
It hasn't, and you know, because negativity sells. You know, it sells papers, it sells on social media. And one of the things, you know, we at YEP, we want to talk to students about what they can become rather than the behaviors they need to avoid, which is kind of the old traditional way of doing it. So you're focusing them up to see themselves where they could potentially be. And I want to put one of your points, which was, you know, most programs have a GPA minimum. And so they don't really reach the youth that we're trying to target. Exactly. And YEP is probably the only program that I'm aware of that has no GPA requirements. Because, you know, in the old days they thought, well, you know, the theory is if you have somebody who's mentally ill, you put them into a lunatic asylum. Well, they're never going to get better there. So if you put somebody at risk with other youths at risk, you know, what are they going to learn? So you want to have a situation where those youth can come in with people who are doing well and see the potential that lies before them. I'm not saying everyone will react in the same way, but the chances are you'll say, wow, this is amazing, and take that opportunity. And I've met so many young men that, you know, they have that kind of hard exterior because they're hurt. You know, they're hurt, they suffer from rejection, and so they desperately need somewhere where they could feel significant and feel recognized. And you know, if there's no program there to do it, they're going to go to the gangs because that's what the gangs give them. They give them the love, connection, or significance, all those things. So we need to create a lot of environments where they can come in and get that in a positive way. And that's why, thanks to YEP, you know, we can provide that to our 1,100 students.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a break here. We are on a special platform program, and we are talking about the Youth Empowerment Program today. We do this program in conjunction with celebrating the 50th anniversary of NIGAD International. We'll come right back.